welcome to season 2 of From My Minds. We're your hosts, Ryan Jones and Mello Arrington, and we got a special guest today, Kelvin Jones, and Kelvin's gonna talk about all his great things that he's doing. I'm gonna let him do that though. You know what I'm saying? So, how's it going, man? It's good to see you, good brother.
It's going good, going good. Thank you, brothers, for having me on. Yeah.
So you're doing some really cool things in the community, and we'll talk about all those details in the show today. But here we go, man. So today we're gonna try something a little different. We're gonna let Kelvin come on and give us the icebreaker.
All right, so I'm gonna do it real controversial.
Okay.
This has been trending. I think we all have our opinions about it, but I think anybody who prefers flats over drums is crazy. Man, drums, man, I can do without flats for the rest of my life, man. I gotta have drums. So I just want to know what's y'all's preference, is the drums or flat?
Now, for me, raw thoughts now, as in me now, because I used to eat meat, but I haven't ate meat in almost 2 or 3 years. But don't get it twisted. Drums is my thing, and I'm gonna tell you why drums is my thing, because I'm thinking about leg quarters, the thighs, and the legs. So I can't do nothing with them flats.
Yeah,
I don't know. They'll make me mad. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with the drums, man. Flats is. I feel like you losing a lot of the meat, man.
Yeah. Too much work. Too much work.
I need the drum. I'm with the drum.
Too much work. Now, what was that lifestyle like? Breaking meat.
So it was really, at first, it started as a competition.
Okay.
So it was a discipline thing. So it was like, I was trying to find a way to balance myself out. Like, I was eating late at night, eating a whole lot of meat, and just being raw thoughts right here. We all have our happy hour.
Yeah.
You want to say.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking about happy hour with them eating all that meat at night, and then I'm getting up in the morning, can't really focus mentally on the next day because I'm like heavy. Not necessarily saying something that's hungover, but at the same time, it was more like a heaviness, like when you at home. But so I said, I'm gonna try to see how this works. And as I cut back all that from the happy hours, too many happy hours, to no meat, man, my body started feeling naturally energetic, man. And people already tell me all the time, y'all, like,
you got a lot of energy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
natural energy. But then when I did this, I'm like, oh my God. They were like, boy, no. They're like, not. They said, oh my God, he about to be crazy energetic. So, I mean, it's been going well. Now I will say now, I do a thing now where I still don't eat chicken, beef, pork,
seafood.
So that's what I might go to, yeah. So I do a week of number veggies.
Okay.
Then I might do another week where I might just do fish. And possibly shrimp. But then some weeks I may say, hey, I was just go do 2 weeks without doing the seafood either.
Yeah.
Now, just depending on which week. Now, I will say this. I'm proud of myself personally because Grandma comes over on Sundays.
Oh, my God.
And she likes soul food, Sunday dinner. I do cook on the grill. And my boy Mello will tell you all the time.
Man.
So, and Mello comes over there a lot, man, whenever I have events and stuff like at the house, and I'm always on the grill. And I still don't eat meat. Like, I still cook the meat. I still cook the leg quarters. He'll tell you, hot dogs, whatever.
You got discipline.
Yeah, and I'm still cooking. I'm still touching it, but it's not coming in my mouth.
So, you turn down grandmama's food?
Right,
my God.
Yeah. I know, right?
And that's terrible, too.
Yeah.
So, ooh.
So she was like, veggie-wise and stuff like that. She does try to find things like that to have. But the thing with me is, I'm big on this, and I end on that conversation here. If you want to chime in or whatever, y'all can chime in after that. I'm the type, even though I'm doing it, I'm not going on commercial saying, don't eat meat, don't do it.
That's right.
Whatever you eat is your business. I just did it for myself.
That's right.
So I'm not here to tell you what to do with your body. That's up
right.
to you.
That's right. That's right. That's good.
But anything else on that topic before we go into our show?
No, we can move. Go for it.
All right, so let's start with let's get the party started. I think this right here, this show gonna be very interesting, people. It's season 2. We coming in hot. All right. So Mello just came in the studio, just something we won't even discussing about today, like coming on the show to talk about. Mello comes on the show and comes in and says, man, I put up a question on social media about AAU and it just went off. So Mello, here you go. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so I just randomly thought about it because Vincent had a big AAU tournament this weekend. So I was just, thinking, I was like, well, when I think about the AAU circuit, I'm going to ask y'all, or whatever, Fonte, you can chime in too. Do you feel like the AAU, what is the AAU purpose? Is it really helping our kids go to the next level? Or is it just, let's make money for our building, or let's make money, put in our pockets for an event, or whatever we throwing? Because, like I said, from me, from being a former basketball player, I ain't seeing kids going to college just off the AAU circuit no more. I ain't really see it then when we was playing.
Right.
But then my aunt came up with a perspective or whatever, and she was like, well, it does keep kids off the streets for the summer. So it's another side to it, too. So I just want y'all opinion.
All right, so I'm gonna let him go first. I'm gonna leave it at this. On the part you were saying about what it was. Whew. We'll get into a topic on that later.
Yeah.
Politics and everything. But go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the politics plays a role,
Yeah.
and I think I'm not a hooper, so I don't fully. I've never been involved in the culture like y'all have as far as like the hoop side of it. But what I will say is that from a fundamental standpoint, I think it started out pre-internet. You know what I'm saying? So like back when it started, when AAU came about, if you were not an AAU and you were a hooper from, let's say, Rocky Mount, you never played anywhere, maybe Raleigh, but Greenville, Havelock, New Bern, like you stay in the East.
Yeah.
And so you never got a chance to play or even get exposed to Charlotte, to Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Raleigh. And so I think for that purpose, AAU really was good. But I do think AAU has become super commercialized now. And not to mention, remember the kid, Alan Voskel?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Alan
absolutely.
Voskel.
Alan
boy.
Voskel.
That's
So
my man.
now, of course,
Alan
I'm a Nat Central guy, so I lean towards the Nat Central memories. But I mean, if you put a guy like Alan Voskel in today's, climate where he was just shooting from the half court mark, I mean, but it was a small town. And that's where AAU really benefits. But now I think, as with anything, more people get involved. The financial benefit of things, the economic benefit is proven. You have a lot of people say, okay, well, I can bring the money in. Then it loses what it was purposed for in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think that's where AAU is. And again, I'm not a hooper, but I think that's hearing your point of view, and I've heard others' point of view who agree with you. I think that if I had to point to something, that's what happened. It started out good, but it became too big and became too commercialized, and people started milking it for money instead of the purpose.
Yes, sir. Politics.
Yeah, so same here. It is, but what I will say is like back in the day, like Jones was saying, we didn't have a lot of heavy internet. It started coming on slow, like after we got to high school and all that stuff, the social media era.
Right,
So
YouTube,
AAU,
yeah.
right, you had to like get out there and play AAU basketball if you was good. Now, the interesting component of this is that it's a slippery slope, meaning like it's two sides. Now you do have players that we actually say are really good who need AAU basketball because they really good. Like the Rosser kid, him playing AAU, getting out that market. The kid from Northern Air, CJ Rosser, like
Right.
I'm just saying, like it's big for him
Correct.
because he's getting real looks and he's
Right,
playing
yeah.
on legit teams
Correct.
that
Yeah.
that are like looking at him. He's getting these looks from multiple big time D1 schools.
Yeah.
So I get it for him. But then you also have that market of people who just be real.
They're not going
Everybody-
D1.
Right, they're not going
They're
anywhere.
not going
And they're just
That's
having a
right.
team, trying to keep them occupied. But, this raw thoughts from my minds, you got other avenues you can keep them occupied in from an educational standpoint, to doing something educationally, to putting, preparing you for the real world because I know it's a fun time. I know it's good. But every parent doesn't have that type of money. And I used to coach AU to have that type of money to like spend and spend and spend. I was listening to somebody 2 weeks ago talking about a baseball AAU team, and he was saying that how their parents was sending them to travel ball since they was 6 years old, and it was like the whole team was going for 6 years old. They all played together since they were 6. Only one person got a scholarship and went just to junior college.
That's crazy.
So like they thought about all the money. They got to say all the money they poured into this team They were great kids, but nobody really got the scholarship nowhere pertaining to the sport.
Which is the sole
Right,
purpose of
right,
the
of playing that sport. Right, the
Yeah,
sole
yeah,
purpose
yeah,
is to get
yeah,
that
yeah.
scholarship. But if you only got one person that went to a JUCO, now you ask yourself like, what did they do? Like, why they didn't get these looks or whatever? So you post it now that like it's so many tournaments. That's why I said so many layers of impact. Now you got your big deal, your real deal ones, like anything with EYBL.
Yep.
Like you playing in that tournament. For one,
That's
if you playing the EYBL, you got it's invite only. It ain't gonna be no I could go pay and sign up. They're not letting anybody come in.
Right,
Like, you
right.
get those big dogs.
Absolutely. Yep.
So then you also have people who make tournaments. I even know a guy like my main brother. He's a genuine guy. He has a organization that he has called Teammate, and he has tournaments all the time from everywhere. Now, it's a great business for him, and he'll say that, but he's also has a genuine love
Right.
for kids. But at the same time, he's not gonna stop nobody from not paying to come to a tournament where
That's
they
right.
could go to the next level, not because that's more of a business for him. That's his entity. That's his organization.
Yeah.
So he
Right,
does
right.
that. So my thing is, you have some real deal entities that are like legitimately good, but then you also have those entities that do it for the money grab. But I also don't knock the business side of it
No, you
from
can't.
people.
You can't.
Because I think about the event center, the more people there, the
Oh,
more
yeah,
entertaining.
yeah, absolutely.
They're gonna make a lot of money. They need people in there or be shut down, and you don't want to mess up their avenue. Now I'm quite sure everybody in there like everybody just can't play basketball.
Yeah,
But they're gonna still
yeah.
it's a business for them. It's a
Yeah.
business for my guy. But at the same time, what I'm saying is between the two, it's a business side to it, then it's these kids a big time side to it. So, and I think if we can find other ways to, it's like I don't want to say it, so that's why I keep going back and forth with this, like because
It's
you,
tough.
you don't want to say like
Not do it.
not to do it, and even though the kids can't play, because
Yeah.
now people start saying that's running these tournaments. You're messing up my money.
That's right.
Because they looking at it from the money perspective. They're like, man, you ain't had to say all that. Like, bro, if they want to play, they want to play. If they don't, they don't. Like,
They're
that
gonna
ain't for
play-
you to say.
They're gonna play regardless of whatever
Right.
we say.
Yeah.
You still gonna do it, but
But for your answer to what you're saying, because as a media, you're saying, is it really helping? Is it really helping? So at that point, it's like we're looking at like if we're playing AAU, we need to have these kids need to be going somewhere,
Right.
not just for the money. Because we ain't
Yeah.
looking at the business side. We're looking at just particularly right now. The laser focus right now is the child. Is it worth this child playing AAU? Is this child really that good? If he ain't, why we in it?
Because was the general idea, and y'all help me with this, was the idea with AAU back in the day, Melo would get the fundamentals at school. He gets the fundamentals middle school, high school. He really balls out middle school, high school. He goes through the excruciating practices middle school, high school, and then AAU was the showcase of
Right.
sorts.
Yeah, they're
To
supposed
where
to-
you
yeah,
go to
absolutely.
where
Yeah.
Melo can go and we know he's been, dominating in the East. But okay, we're gonna put him on the team, and he gets a chance to show that he can go against people from Columbia, South Carolina, from
Right.
Charlotte, and all of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it hurts because I think in the example I just gave, Melo had teammates. Melo knew that he wasn't bigger than the coach on his high school team.
Right.
And he knew that he had to be accountable to his guys that he had lunch with in school every day, the guys he hung out with. But I think the biggest thing that I've seen, even from a football and track element, is that the AAU world, it now promotes just a sickening level of individualism. You know what I'm saying? To where the guy or the small number of guys who participate, it's just me.
Right.
And especially in football, it can't be me. It's too many people on the field. It's 11. And I'm not suggesting that in
Right.
basketball it can be me. But I think that individualism, man, it's just sickening to see kids and their parents perpetuate it to where it's just
it out of my mouth.
me.
Yeah, you took it out of my
Yeah, because that doesn't. I don't care whether you end up being LeBron level, whether you end up being my level in basketball, which is two totally different sides of the spectrum. But that me side, it doesn't work well when you get into the workforce. It doesn't work well when you become a business owner. It doesn't work well when you become a family man. And all these guys, they're gonna make some babies. They 6'3", good hair, good
And they
looking.
think about the
Yeah,
money
but
on the
that's right.
return to ROI.
Yeah, but that me, it doesn't work. And those formative years is when you need to understand that it's not about you.
Yeah.
Man, I agree.
Correct. Yeah, that's 100% correct. Yeah, I just talked to before I walked in. I made the comment or whatever on Facebook or whatever, made the post, and I was talking to an actual NBA scout. Shout out to Wayne Wooten, and he was telling me or whatever that like the AAU circuit. He was basically saying it's kind of like a scam. He was like, because he said, as me as a scout, he said I send basketball players all over NBA jobs, overseas jobs, or whatever. And he was like, the senior class for, like, he said he called a college coach and he asked him or whatever about a kid that was coming out of high school. I think he averaged like 20 points, like 7 or 8 rebounds, 6, 7. He asked the guy, to come look at the kid. The coach said that I'm not looking at any freshmen for this high school year coming up. That's how crazy college basketball is now. I'm not looking at any incoming freshmen. So I'm going straight out the portal. Basically, is what he's saying. I'm going straight out the portal. So, like I said it's interesting because I was like, you got a lot of kids coming out. It's a lot of kids coming out every year, high school. Thinking they're gonna go to college.
Yep.
That and third. I'm like, so really, AAU is kind of like it ain't really worth it. Like you saying, the money that's spent doing travel ball, it ain't really worth it.
Man, it depends on what team, depending on and I know for sure, it depends on the team. Now, if you one of them teams that don't have that starstruck player, parents, ask parents for this, ask parents for that, fundraising, gotta get a van, gotta get the travel that day, you gotta get hotels, stuff like that. And if you don't got a big sponsor, if you ain't got nobody in the NBA who just got a fully funded thing,
That's right.
It becomes a strain. And then if money get funded, that's a whole nother strain right there, man. So and then you got to take the heat and all that stuff,
They do it so much now. Like when we was coming up, we was in high school. AAU probably was, we played a little bit. We might, like I said, we might go to Elizabeth City or somewhere. You may go to Charlotte. You may, but like I said, Charlotte is like a bigger market for AAU. So if I made it to a Charlotte team, they probably gonna spend a little bit more money or whatever. But still, it's not. Like even on that team, I played on one of the top teams in Charlotte, and I don't think not only one person on the team probably went to a big school. We went to Clemson, I think. But that was it. It was like 12. Like I'm talking about from South Carolina all over. So,
and I hadn't thought about it, but until you said it about the portal. I mean, because that NIL, in the portal, it changed so much. And, you see the same in all high school sports. But basketball, I think AAU now has definitely lost its niche in the market, if you will, because now, I mean, that coach is not looking at any freshmen. And so now the standout kid, unless they're number 1 through 10 in the nation, I mean, they're not getting scholarships. And from a football standpoint, I've heard coaches say this, is that college coaches, that they would rather a guy come in after a year of junior college or after a year at a smaller D2 school because chances are if he's a hothead and he's going to get away from home and act up, he does it freshman year, at another school, and he never makes it. And if he makes it, then he's been a part of a program, so he knows 5 a.m. workouts is coming. You ain't gotta take a kid who was just hanging out doing what he wants to do in May, and then in August try to mold him. He's already been molded in this sense. So it's like, from an economic standpoint, that's the better deal. So you can't really argue with the market, because I mean, if I got money to give to a school as a booster, I want my money to be spent the most effective way possible. And at some point, I know we feel special about guys at our schools, guys we coach, and we feel like they just like our kids. They the best thing, smoking. But the reality is, and I tell my kids this when I'm coaching them, hey, it's 20 more y'all in this state. It's 1,000 more you in this country, if not more. And so, you dope, you good. But, hey, you got to work it and you got to get up, because you are a product in college sports, and you got to market yourself and become top of the line.
And
I think we got to let these kids know that D2 is the new D1.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Hello. That's it.
D3,
That's it.
Yes,
That's
Lord.
only gonna
Shout
get
out
in
to
right
North
away.
Carolina Wesleyan, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, gotta come out there.
All right, so with that being said, this is about, these subjects are kind of like the same, but they're still kind of separate. So we're going to talk about family. How you feel about family? And I'm going to break down the family after that, but like just family in general overall. That's just family. I'll let you go first. How you feel about family? Like, is family family anymore? Is it family same? Is family, you know?
Family. First of all, family is important because you know I just was in the gym this morning, and it was a guy, and he's in law enforcement. And you can tell,
Oh boy!
he's
Oh,
in
here
law
we go.
enforcement, and and I normally see him in there. I normally see him in there when he gets off work because he works overnight a lot of nights. So I see him. He comes in the morning after he gets off. I'm just waking up, but he had a rough day, and I can tell his whole just disposition was different than it normally is, right? And so I said, "How was work, man?" He just gave me a look, man. So at that point, I don't want to ask. I don't know whether you saw a dead body, whether you had to, shoot. If you had to shoot somebody, you probably wouldn't have been in the gym. But you never know what somebody sees in law enforcement overnight, right? And so, but I told him on the way out. I said, "Hey, man, hey, that day's over with. You made it home. You going home to your babies." Because I said all that to say that when it comes to family, man, like I told him, you replaceable to everybody else on this planet, except for those kids.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you are replaceable.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so as long as you make it home to them, none of this other stuff matters. And so I think that, that's the root in which family is important because those are your people. Like those are the people. And so it's family like it used to be. I think we romanticize grandmama and granddaddy and our parents, and we act like or we don't think about that they went through just as much challenges. They had things to go through, and they had to go to work, and they got laid off, and they had all those challenges we face. But it's now our turn to be the family. I mean, we gotta have the cookouts now. We gotta cook the chicken or the tofu,
Yeah.
whatever it is. We gotta do the chicken and tofu. We gotta organize the family reunions. You know what I'm saying? Christmas dinner is on us now. So I think that's why a lot of people feel like family ain't family no more because grandma 80 years old. Our parents are in their 60s and 70s. And we looking around like family and family. No, you ain't stepped up yet.
We gotta make it.
We gotta step up.
Yeah.
We gotta plan. We gotta call our cousins and say, or our siblings and say, hey, this day Thanksgiving, I'm having dinner. Show up. All right, and then if they can't make it, all right. Well, look, next year I'm doing the same thing. You ain't got no plans a year from now. Show up and build that up. We talk about our kids don't know each other. It's our fault.
So, oh man, yeah, that part. So speaking of that family, so family dynamic for me didn't actually change recently. The reason why I'm saying this is because my grandma and them, apparently all the older ones that were brothers and sisters, the grandmas, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, have decided every first of the month, every first Saturday, we got to go to Golden Corral and eat with everybody in the family, from cousins and everybody. I'm like,
dope, though.
yeah, I'm like,
That's
man.
nice.
And my grandma used to get mad because at first I wasn't going. You need to bring your black blah blah blah. And then my uncle Virginia had to come. I mean, like, I'm like, this is cool. That's the problem. We're trying to build this family, But I understand the concept of what you're saying. Like you said, they 80 years old. They doing this for them, but they hope that somebody keeps it.
That's right.
Now, also on that part is like, I also look at it like the family dynamic is different because everybody has their own individual family. Some people got one family. I mean, one child. Some people got no kids. Some people may got 5 or 6, and they coming from different angles, different parents, and they got a lot of other stuff going on. They may be out of town. They may have real careers. I think when it comes to the part of family is family, people understand like all families have their own individual family that like keeps them busy. And some people like he family. He like you don't know us. It may not be that. It may be a thing like I'm really busy. It ain't me. Don't take it personal. I'm really in my own trying to figure myself out with my immediate family to get there. It's not nothing bad. I think some family feel like they don't see you someplace. They just feel like you disassociated with them.
Yeah.
And you haven't. It's just that they just feel like that, and it's not that. And then too, some families have their own, like just being real, out here in the public, family like, no, that's my family, that's my family. But you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. They might be ready to fight each
That's
other.
right,
You know
that's
what I'm
right,
saying?
that's right,
So you gotta understand like that. They may say, no, that's my brother. No, that's my sister. No, that's my cousin. Get behind. Thanks. No, I'm still beefing with you. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't gonna do it out here. So it's just levels and stuff like that too. And so, but how you feel about that?
Kind of along the same lines as y'all. Family, like, I mean, definitely, like I said, we are the next generation of, we the ones that got to keep the family together through the years. I think social media kind of,
Yeah.
social media kills everything. Um, with the family, for me, like, I feel like we definitely got to kind of. I mean, I know, like, so we ain't gonna be close together. Like, I got my sister. I don't talk to my sister every day, probably, but it don't change the love I have for her. It's just that our lives, going different directions. We doing different stuff. I'm working, she working. We ain't got time to do, all this stuff all the time. But it don't change the level or the love that I have for her or anybody else in my family. Like I said, I can't make every cookout. I can't make every function, but we still family, and I guess the cousins of my age, we got to be the ones, like I said, to go on through the next wave or whatever. As that part of the dynamic, I'll let y'all kind of talk
Well,
about the marriage part of it, like going forward.
so I mean, so married, but you made what you said made me think of something because you talked about like you don't see him every day, and like social media. I think in the same way. So I've always said that class reunions are dead now because of social media.
Oh man,
Because
I can't
yeah,
even get my principal to respond.
that's right, that's right.
Our class reunion is this year.
Yeah, I was again too. Yeah.
Yeah, so and the reason I say that is because I think the main purpose or the main draw to class reunions before social media was that, oh man, me and Mello went to school together, man. That joker took my girl back in 10th grade. Yeah, but I'm doing it now. He gonna see me, not in a violent way, but he gonna see. I'm gonna rent a car. I'm gonna come smelling good, looking good. I'm gonna take out all my money out of my bank account and put it in my pocket. And so just so Mello took my girl 22 years ago can see that I'm doing better than him. And so, but now we have Facebook and Instagram for that. So, so now, I follow Mello in this example and he get to see me all the time.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no
saying?
doubt.
And then I'll go like something to his just so I can pop up in his algorithm so he can see me stunting. You know what I'm saying? So
That's true,
so
man.
now
That's
I don't
true.
have to spend the money 10 years later because Mello been seeing me and Mello been going through it. So I know that I'm doing better than him now. So I ain't got nothing to prove at class. So I think talk about family reunions and things, I think that helps keep us connected in a way or feel connected in a way so that we don't feel the need to cancel a summer vacation with just our immediate wife and kids to go to a family cookout because we already know how this cousin's doing, that cousin's doing. They know how we're doing. We don't like their stuff. Baby's so good, baby's so sweet, whatever. And so I think that it scratches that itch, so to speak.
It kind of scratches that personal connection, but you can see the virtual connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But I guess we'll go to parenthood. How you feel about that? So I know we always talk about certain topics here, but you ain't been around. I know these topics kind of like you get a chance to chime in. So I guess we'll figure out what we're gonna say from there. Parenthood. How you feel about parenthood? Is it good, bad? Because I know for you've been with the same person.
Yeah.
So you ain't had no kids outside of.
Correct. Yeah. I got
So yours gonna be a little different. All right, here we go. Let's go. Hey, you might get a different story from us.
So parenthood, man, it's a blessing, man. It's fun, but it's a challenge. So I became a dad at 19, and yeah, so my daughter, she's 17 now, and we have a younger daughter, and so me and my then girlfriend, now wife, we ended up having our first kid freshman year of college. And then had our second one after we got married and, got stable in our careers and things. But yeah, so it's a challenge, So I'm telling you, y'all need to go to the gym with me sometime, man.
Yeah, sure.
You
You
see
know what?
I used to catch you in there. When I was
No, I need you now. What you go to?
To the Y, yes. to the
Oh, I
Y.
gotta go. Yeah, 'cause I'm already. I don't know. This came out of nowhere. Maybe it's a shirt or something. But,
But but parenthood for me has been a blessing because I started so early relative to my age that most people that I know in my peer group, call it between the ages of like, now 32 and 40, I started before most of them. And by the grace of God, I was able to, because I'm not without my mistakes, or my challenges. I mean, to be with anybody from the age of 18 to 36, 37, I mean, you go through a lot of changes. I mean, I tell people, it's hard to live with yourself and decisions you made from 18 to 36, if we honest, you know what I'm saying? So throw somebody else into that mix, a whole different individual, it's hard to be with that person. It's challenging, man. Like you got to really overcome some things because not just the things that you did that you weren't happy about. Now you got somebody else that you got to share life with that y'all were young and just made stupid mistakes together. So so that's tough, but I'm able to advise other men, you know what I'm saying, on some of the principles of fatherhood. Just let them know because we all think our situation is individual to us. So like if my old lady tripping, oh, it's my old lady. Oh, she crazy. No,
That's a long time. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean that's a long time,
From
but
18 to now,
but so
you got that old school type of life, man. You know what I'm saying? Because most men at this age, that age, don't.
they just
Go
get
ahead.
started.
Yeah, they just get started, or a relationship that long to last that long. It's very rare because that's what we were talking about a while back in our era, that a relationship in our era lasts for that long.
Yeah,
But go ahead. I'm
but
sorry.
but it's tough. But so what I've been able to do is when it comes to parenthood, I've been able to tell guys, like it's not just you. Like, it's not just your 5-year-old that's cutting up. It's not just, you and your spouse having an issue with discipline, having, seeing, like, it's not just her. Like, this happens a lot. And so I've had a lot of guys come to me because I was the first one with a kid, first one to get married. So they come to me, and I know a lot of guys' issues. And so I can say, like, they're not that big for one, but they feel that big when you in them. But I know enough to say, like, yeah, it's not just you, bro. Like, this is how it goes, So at the Y, a guy, his daughter's 13, and he said, man, her attitude is just like so crazy, and she just, she getting sometimes disrespectful, and then she lying to me. I said, yeah, I mean, she's 13. That's gonna happen. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And what a guy told me before is that it always comes back. If you're doing fatherhood right, it comes back. They come back to being your little girl. But them teenage years, crazy. Whew. Crazy, boy. Whew. Crazy. And look, my homeboy just had a baby girl, and he said, Kev, he said, man, what I got to look forward to when she turned about 15? I said, that beautiful little girl. Oh, she's so sweet. She gonna lie straight to your face. She gonna lie straight, and it's gonna break your heart. It's gonna feel like it's gonna feel like your wife cheated on you. Oh, it's gonna feel. Oh, it hit you so bad. But when we were teenagers, before we were in any relationships, what teenage girl we know didn't lie to her daddy? You know what I'm saying? On our behalf. Woo! You know what I'm saying? And they turn out to be successful women, good women. But when you 15, 16, you gonna lie. Yep. You gonna lie, and you think your lie is so clever and genius. Yeah. And what I told him, I said, even when you know it's a lie, you got to give them some grace. Because I look back on the lies I told my parents, man, God, it's like they gave me grace. They gave me grace. They knew my parents are not stupid. Like, I look back, but when you 16, you thinking, oh man, this is the best lie. Nobody's ever heard this lie before. Man, yeah, right. So yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that part.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
So I told them to give them grace. So parenthood, having done it or started it so early, because you never stop. But having done it so early, it's allowed me to really reinforce some things that a lot of guys already know. But sometimes you need to hear it. Like when you doing wind sprints up and down the court, up and down the field, you need that coach to remind you that you can do this. You already know you can do it, but you feeling it right now. Your legs feel like spaghetti, so you gotta be reminded.
Man, you said a mouthful there. Back in the day, that was true. Like we always found a way to say something, and I'm quite sure our parents did the same thing to their parents, lied to them and stuff. So they know man, shoot, my daughter there, and my daughter there, boy, yeah, boy, my daughter did hit me. I started, yeah, boy, it did, cause my two children, but I ain't gonna say two children. Yeah, I know they'll shoot you in quick and swear it down. Shoot you and then I'll be looking at them, okay, and they don't even know how to say it. I'm like, man, I already know. I just don't care. That's right. My mind be on something else at the moment. Yeah. So I'm like, man, I don't even want to hear it. I already know what you're lying about, whatever. I don't even care, man. I got my mind focused on something else right now. Yeah. It's probably more important. So I'll let you be, like you say, Grace. Mine, but I'll let you be. But I already know. So don't come with no stupid stuff because I already know. So it was like,
Ron still recovering from that.
Yeah, because man, it is true, man. Yeah, because like even like my daughter and stuff, like I still call princess, but I also know my daughter's my daughter, and I also give her grace and I listen. I'm like one of her therapy sessions, so she has that mindset what it is, and me coming from all separate homes, it's two different parents, so being married, then also having 2 older kids, but pretty much like you started early. But I just think that me and who I was with before, I just think our lives just went different. It wasn't, I think, a bad thing. Now, don't get twisted. It be times, but the beauty of our situation is, it be times, it be random. She'll just, I don't know what she be going through some days. She be ready to cut you out for no reason, mother, my children. But then she'll come right back like nothing ain't happened. It be real. I'm like, I don't even know what it is. Sometimes I be just and I just hang up. Like, I don't even know what, I'm sitting here listening. I don't even know what we fussing about. Yeah. But then, not fussing, but excuse me, she may be fussing, but then come back later and it be like, I said, I already know. I said, it is what it is. So, and I know because being in a different home, when you ain't in the same household with your parents, with your kids, you have different parents, different skills. And one thing about children, they know how to manipulate whichever parent they want. So whoever get them what they want to do, they going to follow that lead. That parent could be absolutely wrong. Yeah. But they going to do whatever is in the best interest of them. And I get that. So I don't even really get mad at complain because I know what it is. But for you, it's a great thing because you and your wife are still together. Y'all still doing that. But like I said again, that don't work like that in this era. So once people break up, it's always the honeymoon stage. You have kids, stuff like that. Quite sure plenty of guys that had kids with people. The girl would say, or the man would say she was the best, or the girl would say he was the best at the time. Then once you got that separate home and you're not in a real connection anymore, or you're not when I say connected, it affects the overall relationship, not even just from a parenting relationship or a sexual relationship, or it can even mess up a relationship of a friendship. Yeah. Because when you're together, you're conjoined. When you're separated and you're not seeing each other every day and somebody's being successful elsewhere, not saying somebody's hating, because I don't think about hating, but you may start to wondering in your mind or overthinking he doing this over here, or he doing more over here than over there, and blah, blah, and all that stuff, because you're not together no more. In reality, you're not. You just, when you're married and you moved on, if you had kids, I'm quite sure there's plenty of people who had kids, and then they end up getting married to somebody else. Things will become different. Yeah. But I guess it's hard to relate. Now, you have some parents that are genuine, that'll be like, we don't care, we're proud, happy. But then, let you not do something that time they want you to do that. Yeah. You might see a whole different side. Go ahead.
About it earlier.
Yeah. So parenthood is different, but for me, I commend you. Now I'm gonna ask you this before we can get the mellow on this. How do you keep the fire alive? You say you've been with your wife since y'all was a freshman in college, and y'all been together just about almost 18 to 20 years. Yeah. Boy, woo! I want to know your remedy and what it is and how you do things. And I get into we'll talk about marriage and stuff in a few, but go ahead.
So, I think that keeping the fire alive, man, I'm just attracted to my wife, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just attracted to her. You know what I'm saying?
So no blur. I mean, no, never. Yeah. I'm not trying to say that out of the way because I know you're not.
No.
But I'm saying it don't. Nothing says.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. I know where you're going.
All right. So because you say the fire, you keep the fire. You say you just attract to your wife.
Yeah.
But this is raw for my mind. Y'all ready?
Raw thoughts.
But I'm quite sure your wife knows, and you know, even though you're married. And not saying people would take it there.
Yeah.
Are probably attracted to her, as a lot of people probably, a lot of women probably still attracted to you. Yeah. And they like to say the devil or temptation can hit you. So for you to even be there, and if you and your person had a fight, to be disciplined, I'm gonna tell you, I'm the same way. So don't get twisted. I'm the same way like you. Yeah. Can't nobody say Prime out here doing that. Can't not a soul say that. Yeah, I don't care if they get mad or not, but I'm just saying to hear that, and you say I'm just attracted to my wife, and we'll talk about some other stuff later that will propel to why I said what I said, the positions and things you're doing, did it ever have hard times, basically? What I'm trying to say. I know, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
So,
it was hard for me to explain it,
Yeah, so it's not easy. And, me saying I'm attracted to my wife is not suggesting that temptation has never, presented itself. And like you said, I ain't the only one think she fine. And you know what I mean? So, guys going, shoot their shot too. And as a man, do you really want a wife that nobody else thinks is fine?
True.
Now granted, if you love your wife, we all
I know what you're saying.
But come on, you picked her too. But here's what I'll say. I think that there's something to be said for setting the tone as a man. Okay, so I think that as individuals, man or woman, I think that nobody will endlessly pursue. Like, I mean, so like what I'm saying is, women. When I first got married, like it's toughest when you first get married, man, because it's like it's like women can smell a newly married man. And
Oh
it's like
oh yes sir.
and it's like it's almost like I don't know whether it's subconscious or whatever, but it's like a newly married man is so tough because I think subconsciously, and this just I have no data to back this up, but I think that women, great, he newly married. I mean, he fresh into a commitment. I want that. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm gonna go after it. But I think as time goes on, if you set the tone and if you are blind by choice or by coincidence to advances or those little subtle messages women send you as a married man, and if you notice them and get away, I think women will they'll take the hint, man. I think they'll take the hint, and then on top of that, I have a thing. So I worked in Richmond, Virginia, for the last few years up until recently.
Oh,
right, and
Mr.
so,
Virginia for lovers. Okay,
man, Richmond, Virginia, and people always ask me, oh well, I mean, why don't you? And I would come home and go back the next day. Like I did that, like for
you would
a
drive
while.
2 hours a day.
Well, 4 hours because 2 hours one way.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah,
home.
back your truck.
Yeah.
Woo,
But
boy,
yeah,
under your gas, boy.
boy,
God.
yeah, in a V8 truck. So yeah, so.
Oh boy.
But people always say, well, why don't you get a hotel, stay overnight? And I said, nah, I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still a man, bro. Like I'm still a man. I'm still at the men normally peak out around that 35 to 40 age range. You know what I'm saying? As far as economically, socially, emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not stupid. I spend too much time away from home. That's opening the door. Now I'm gonna push the door closed, but that's still opening the door. And so I think that when it comes to keeping the fire alive, you got to be vigilant. I think that's the key word. You got to be vigilant, bro. So you gotta you gotta see your family as something that you're protecting.
Right.
And family isn't just keeping boys away from your daughter or keeping the doors locked at night so nobody can kick your door in or keeping guns in the house. That's a lot of men think it's just that. Now, protecting your family is protecting the whole dynamic. So you got to be vigilant of other women. Yeah, she fine, but let's talk about, okay, what if I slip up? First of all, so it's a choice. And you a grown man.
Oh, we on from my minds today, baby.
Ain't no such thing as an accident.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
It was a choice.
Right.
Okay,
I agree.
So because it's like it was premeditated. It's a lot of outs you had on the way to that hotel room, or on the way to that. God knows, don't take it to your house. God knows, I know. Don't do
People
that.
be bold these days, don't they?
People be
boy?
bold, but it's a lot of outs. So I think that if you shut it down quick, you know what I'm saying, before you even get down that road, then it's easier. But just, you got to be vigilant to make sure that, okay, I ain't even going there with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm at in general, not me, but if there's an event a man's at, and there's casual conversation, okay, like, yeah, the whole like exchanging numbers, all that stuff, unless we got some real business to discuss that we've already identified right there in that moment, then we ain't really needing to exchange numbers. Give me your card, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll look you up on LinkedIn or something, but but like for what? And then on top of that, if I always, use whenever I can feel sort of attention, you know what I'm saying? Like, or temptation rather present itself, I'll bring up my wife, you know what I'm saying? But, and then I talk about we. I'll say we. You know what I'm saying? Because even subconsciously, you say we to a woman. Now it's like, okay, well, damn, like, I mean, doggone. Like, he's spoken for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think that does it too. And I'm not perfect, and I'm not blind. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so just raw thoughts. I mean, and my wife, and my wife, your wife, they not blind either. I mean, right. You think I'm not delusional enough to think that my wife don't see somebody taller than me, perfect beard, you know what I'm saying? Just, perfect beard, like, and don't think he's attractive. I mean, come on, like, that's being unrealistic. But, I also know that, the things that we've done together over the years, what we've built, what we persevered through. I think, that's what keeps the fire alive too, man. Because it's like, I mean, that's my girl.
So, and then with that being said, I'm glad you said that. So you knocked out two things. So like most of the time, like me, I'm a conversationalist, and I know, and I like subconsciously, you can tell when the person look at you what they thinking, whatever. I'm super duper aware. Like my wife has always told me, and my mom knows, like, I'm super aware of a whole lot of stuff, so I can feel a person from light years ahead is what they want to say. So you can have a conversation, you can tell a conversation, but I'm like you. It's like a thing of now a lot of people understand, like a lot of conversations be based upon business. People gonna do whatever to make you feel comfortable, say what you gotta say, make you feel comfortable. It's business related. A lot of stuff ain't really pertain to that I want you or not. But I will say this though, from a subconscious level, women, as because we're men are here, women like to see a man in a stable situation, meaning married in a situation like that. The ones that are single, they already know they may be here for fun, they gone tomorrow, whatever. Some women do like that, and some women just don't. But at the same time, women want to man that they can depend on, count on, who's consistent, who's in a relationship, who's probably who's pretty much married. They like to see when they see stuff like that, they look at a man like, oh, this guy's committed to being something. And some women always want that, and some women may have things that may happen before, whatever, but they always still try to find that. But it's hard to find that because they start realizing as you get with somebody, it may not be the perfect fit to the puzzle. So women are big on loving to see a man who's consistent in a relationship because that's what gives them hope for whoever they trying to chase or whoever the person they trying to find. But go ahead.
We want the same thing.
Yeah, right. No doubt. No doubt. No
yeah.
doubt.
Oh, yeah,
But go ahead.
yeah,
No doubt.
Yeah, that's definitely it. If I tell you,
I was just trying to say men because we're men out here though. But yeah.
Yeah, we want the same things for sure. But women don't be saying it like that though. They want us to build them up sometimes. But yeah, to both topics, like I seen Kev post a picture of him and his wife from I think it was high school.
Yeah,
or
high school,
something,
probably, yeah.
And up until now, I thought it was the dopest thing ever. Like I said, that's ideally what my goal was. I had my daughter at 21. And like I said, ideally, that's the goal. I want to be with my child's mother or whatever for the rest of my life, and that's why I wanted to do that because that's what my parents did.
That's right.
And I feel like just in the environment today, I just feel like you need a 2-parent household.
Yeah.
I mean, I always believe that because black fathers matter for sure or whatever. And I ain't gonna act like I'm the best father on earth or whatever, but I know that it matters in the kid's life or whatever. And I know it. I tell a story or whatever. One time, like I said, my dad and my mom, they were together all the way up until me and my sister got grown or whatever. I know one time, I think I was in like 8th grade or something. My father, him and my mom, they had one of their bad days or whatever. He said he was gonna leave or whatever, so he left. And my father, he was like James from Good Times. He put the whip down. Yeah, disciplinarian for sure. Shout out to Ricky. But so like I said, so anyway, so I heard him. I'm in my room. I heard him leave. I said, well, yeah, I'm about to go out tonight. It's a Saturday night. I said, I'm about to go out with my homeboys. Whatever, my mama, she gonna drop me off or whatever. I'm like, all right, I get out there on the street with my homeboy or whatever. So we walking to the mall, we walking to Star City, we walking the hill, whatever. I was supposed to be picked up at a certain time, but my dad ain't home. No more, I ain't going home. I'm about to parlay. My mother gotta come pick me up. She done came by the spot. I ain't even there. I'm walking all over Rocky Mount. I'm all over places, whatever. So, I call off a payphone when I'm ready to go home, whatever. She
Call off the payphone, took it back. We took it way back.
The payphone right there by Western City, Star City. It was the payphone right there. I call her like one something like,
Oh
come
God.
pick me up or whatever, man. I'm talking about she was fighting mad, but she ain't as the disciplinarian
That's
like
right.
my father was.
That's right.
So what your dad do?
I said, so I get home or whatever. Like I said, I think I sleep it off that day or whatever. I know for sure my dad came home that next day though, and I remember he was like, I ain't leaving no more. So whatever problems we have, we just gonna have to get through it because he said I'm not leaving no more. And I think that right there is like because it probably was a point where I could go left.
Yeah.
Instead of the way I went.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that was like a point in my life where I probably was gonna be, doing the stuff that some of my friends or my other people was doing or whatever, and I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
so that's why I'm big on, like I said, ideally I want the. I ain't married yet. I ain't in the process, but like I said, I always wanted that for myself. Um, like I said,
So
along with the parenthood part, like I said, the communication part. Like I said, I love my children's mothers or whatever. We don't really see eye to eye too much, but I always had that love, and I feel like everything's gonna come around full circle to get everything back right. Cause I got faith in it. But like I said, yeah, the I guess it's kind of it right there.
so you basically had what it sounded like to me, gentle parenting for you. Mine was a little different. My grandma, my great grandma was old school.
Like
It
I
was
said,
gentle
yeah,
parenting for my grandma. My great grandma, boy, that switch was coming out.
Like I said,
but see,
yeah, no, see,
you can't do that now these days.
no,
Tell me
that's what
go.
I'm saying. So, my dad, like I said, he was James for good times. Man.
It gets you straight.
I can't tell you how many whoopers I got going on. God Almighty. But like I said, he was just teaching me how to be a man in this world, and that's why I think he stayed around, because he know how tough it is. Because I guess his father wasn't there, so
Yeah.
he he made a pact that I'm gonna stay here until you grown and you get out. And you're old enough to get out on your own, and then you got to figure out your way of life after that. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, okay, we here, and all the stuff that he was instilling back then. Now I see it.
That's right. That's right.
So
That's right.
shout out to him, and like I said, hopefully,
Shout out to Pop for sticking around, man.
Man, yeah, that part.
Because
Yeah.
talking about marriages, man.
And we go into that topic. Go ahead and
Yeah,
join that topic of marriage.
Yeah,
We got
yeah.
that.
So going into that, man, I tell people, if you ain't never wanted to walk out, you ain't doing marriage right. Because or you ain't been married long enough. And then I got a homeboy too. He was like, yeah, we was doing breakfast. It wasn't at the gym this time, but it was at IHOP. And he was telling me, he got 3 kids, and some days he get home from work, he just want to turn around. And I said, yeah, look, that's most men, bro. Like, I mean, come on, like that's most parents, cause them kids, boy, when they at that age, where they like 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, and you got beat down at work all day, like you love your babies, but you just really want to go in and go lay across the bed, bro, just to decompress. For
That
a
part,
minute.
that
But
part,
you can't.
that part.
You can't, because them kids don't care, nor should they care what you doing. Like, hey, they yours. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny because some people be like, as it relates to absentee fathers, you know what I'm saying, guys who just ain't stuck around. People say, I just don't understand what will make a man want to like leave his kids. I'm like, I do.
Go ahead.
I get it. I understand full well what makes a man want to not be around. What? I mean, but the character of a man is being present. And whether you're in the house or whether you're out the house, your kids are going to remember if you were there or not. And so that's the biggest thing when it comes to like parenthood, is that, bro, like you gotta be there. You gotta be there for them. Their big moments, like the moments when they get in 4th grade awards, that matters to them. That they are competing in their peer group in the same way that President Obama competed in his peer group for a presidential election. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the equivalent when your baby gets a 2nd grade, most improved or something. That's just a little 8x10, little writing that the teacher went and got from Walmart, Office Depot. That's what it is for real. But for them to have their name called, that's the equivalent to them being drafted number 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the way they feel. So they want to see you there with the camera, being proud and all of that. As long as you do that and have some level of consistency. You know what I'm saying? I think you're gonna be good.
Man, you broke that down to the T. Cause like he did say,
Absolutely.
like right then he was talking about I don't know why a dad want to be in his child's life, but what you broke down was like, why it ain't.
It's
really
hard.
it ain't because of the child. It may be because of the relationship you got with the parent that may be going.
Well, not even that. No. I'm saying if your marriage is perfect and your children are perfect, as a man, if you live with your wife and babies and you ain't got no other outside kids or other kids, whatever, and you have what they call the perfect marriage, you still, bro, like, what? You still want some you time?
Yeah.
After you giving your talents to either whether it's your business or whether it's to your bosses, the company you work for, organization, you give all your energy to that. You beat down. Then you got to come home. You got to hear about your wife's day. You got to be attentive because there's a pop quiz coming. Oh, you remember when I said? So you got to remember that.
yeah.
And then every child need their own daddy time. In the same way, every president, you the president of that house, so every cabinet member got to have their one-on-one time with the president. No different from kids. It's cool to watch a movie together, but whether you got boys, girls, whatever, they got to have that one-on-one time. Even if it's just going upstairs, kicking it with them for 5 minutes in their bedroom, I'm proud of you. Hey, pick this up, all of that. They need that. And so we ain't even ate yet. We ain't cut the grass. We ain't done none of that stuff. We just got off work and came home. So that's what I meant when I said, I understand what makes a man want to leave and just leave everything and go be a bachelor. And
I know that. No, I know that.
Yeah,
I know what you said. I know you won't say that.
Yeah.
I ain't mean to say it like that. But no, you're all right. I call that. I say in life we have the two personality trait. Everybody want to talk about zodiac signs, Gemini stuff, whatever. I'm talking about like the two side personal trait, meaning that I could be Ryan Jones and got to go out here and put on my armor because this what takes care of the household.
That's right.
Meaning that I got to go out here and take a beating verbally from somebody somewhere, regardless if I like it, agree with it, disagree with it. I have to take that and hold it in and keep on that armor because when you walk out that door every morning or third shift, whatever shift you work, you about to go take on something.
Yeah.
That and this for all people that it's gonna probably have you ready to quit or ready to fight.
Yeah.
But you can't because we live in a capitalist country to where bills gotta get paid. So you gotta take on that. So after you take all that beating, that verbal, mental beating, like you saying, I know what you're saying. Now you gotta come home and you feel like when you come home, you're supposed to take the armor off. I've been beat down all day. I just want to come, like you said, lay across the bed. I get what you're saying because I've been in them situations where I might not want to be bothered today. Everybody always tell me all the time, I'm gonna keep it real. This is from my mind. This is something you're gonna learn about me today. I'm the most talkative person out there. The most talkative person in the public. Smile, cool, love everybody. Cause that's just me and I have a extrovert energy. But don't get it twisted. Don't think I talk a hole in your head for 24 hours. My battery, when I hit the house, I might be snoring. Yeah. So I'm just saying. So I know, like when I get there, but my people don't need that because it's not fair to them.
That's right.
But I also know I gotta have the alkaline battery, the one that lasts long, because
right.
I know I got to still do all these things for my kids and all these things for my parents. I mean, not my kids and then the wife and whoever. But it may be times like even politicians, like being real, or even people that are shares, they got to go out here and do all that. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. I'm quite sure when they get home, I'm not putting no words in their mouth. Can I just lay in the bed for a second? Can I just gather myself and regroup and reprocess? I even see my mom and my grandma used to come from work, and I used to come in, grandma. So I do get it as a child. Grandma. Yeah. I grandma mom like, I just got off work. Let me get myself together. Yeah. So no, I do get it. I know you weren't saying about bachelor, but I also understand no matter what you're doing, if you got kids, you're married, you ain't, or not, or whatever it is, you got to have the two personalities because you may now when you at home, if somebody talk jump to you, you can say what you got to say back. Yeah. But when you out there and they give you that 6-figure paycheck, they would say, "Hey, Mello, you don't need to wear your glasses no more. Do you hear me, boy?" And you might say, "Wait, you ain't gonna tell me I can't wear my glasses? I see." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
that 6-figure paycheck, I might take it. I might take these glasses off.
But the biggest thing is, and this what keeps me grounded. And when I say grounded, I mean, because it's easy to forget. Like, in the demands of being just a man, bro, like, and a provider, there are demands where it's easy to just be like, oh, I'll play with the kids tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Or, I'm going to just lay across this bed. I'll get with them tomorrow. You look up, bro, 10 years have gone by. Mm-hmm. And you can't get that time back. And the thing is, and so having a 17-year-old and an 8-year-old or 9-year-old now, I mean, that's the one thing where, we started over as far as, like having a big kid and then starting with a baby. But my youngest has given me such appreciation, you know what I'm saying, for my journey through parenthood because you can't get that time back. And so what I remind myself of is these are the people, talking about, in my case, my daughters. When I'm laying on that bed and the machines around me and we got to decide what to do, it's them.
Yeah, true.
It's not no client of mine. It's not no boss of mine. Not no co-worker. No. It ain't no member of the elected public of the elected pool out there. It's no citizen, bro. It's those girls. So you got to do right by them. But the beauty of it is you can do both. You just have to keep your priorities in place. You can do good by people, be a man of the people, and be a man of your family. And a lot of people feel like it has to be either or, but that's not true. Like it's 24 hours in a day, bro. You got to do what you got to do.
Right.
But I'm telling you, when it's time for you to close your eyes, the citizens of Tarboro, Rocky Mount, Wilson, whatever. Oh yeah, they're gonna be sad. You'll get an article in the paper.
That's it. It ain't gonna think about you no
That's
more.
it. That's it,
You
bro.
just a number. Just a number.
And like I said earlier, you will be replaced
yeah.
Yep.
in quick fashion.
Right.
But then the world gonna keep moving for everybody except for your babies, bro. That's who the world gonna stand still for when you laying in that bed and you can't talk no more.
Boy, he getting some gems, boy. Kale. So real quick before we get to that what makes sure, and I'm gonna tell my side a little bit because Melo can jump in because he just getting interested tight, huh? Okay, so we'll make it real quick. We'll announce some. Oh, I couldn't get out. The producer, but that was good. What makes your marriage stronger? The good, the bad, the ugly, I guess.
So all right, so time together makes it stronger because when you're raising kids, it's real easy for 5 years to go by and y'all only went on vacation with just two of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And so like that oh man, like so it's so easy to do, and it's not because you don't value her, she don't value you. It's like, bro, like you got school, so you got to be home from August to June.
Yeah.
You got to be home, and then throw in a summer camp. You know what I'm saying? Now we shrinking down, and we still working in the summertime. So like now we shrinking down other times. So, and then you got to take your babies to the beach. You got to do stuff with the kids, and I mean, I don't know what type of time other people on, but I mean, like, you can't do all the grown up things you like to do when you with your babies. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta, like, I can't go and enjoy myself like I like to enjoy myself when I'm with my kids. Man, and that's because when I'm in DC or when I'm at the beach, I have to be vigilant of my family. I gotta make sure it ain't no creep in the corner somewhere. I gotta make sure ain't nothing crazy going on, and so I gotta be able to be a protector while I'm providing them with this trip. So when it comes to keeping the marriage strong, that time together 1-on-1 to where y'all can let loose and be two adults in love like you were when you were 17, 18. And then on top of that is reflection, man. Like, so I think one thing that has kept us strong or just reinforced our strength, man, is reflecting on where we've been and reflecting on the challenges, even talking some of the challenges out. Because if you've been with somebody since 18, just to be honest, it's things that y'all have gone through that really weren't fleshed out when you were 18. You weren't mature enough at 18 or 21 to really flesh those things out. So you got to get older. Time will make that possible, and then you revisit it. It comes up, and cooler conversations because enough time has gone by to where we're not arguing now. And we've gotten mature enough to where we know how to engage in difficult conversations a lot better than before. So really, reflection, man. It's easy to think that not washing the dishes is a problem, until you remember, like, we used to have, like, all warfare in a relationship, you know what I'm saying, over something way bigger than washing dishes.
Yeah.
So with me, that is interesting. So for me, I dated my wife in high school. We was first high school sweethearts, and then we took a huge long distance break. So I guess with marriage, man, you learn like it could be the good, the bad, the ugly. I love it. I love the good, the bad, the ugly. Everybody don't love the good, the bad, the ugly because everybody always try to focus more so on the ugly. I think in marriage, like, its strength is peace, but you can say things to each other. Can you take things you say back? No, but can you work on, like, focusing on what you don't need to say and refrain from saying?
That's right.
That probably is a thing that can always be worked on. It takes two to tango. But another thing is when you have kids, man, one thing about marriage, anything like that, that's where you got to really work. I see a lot of guys always trying to work on the husband-wife thing, having some me time, setting a certain time to go out, so like that, because you do have to connect. Because we have kids, let's be real. Not male or female. I mean, I don't know how the males do it, but maybe females, maybe males do it too. If a marriage don't work, the kids gonna always be yours. So when parents, marriage, and wives or husbands look at stuff, they can always say they gonna be committed to them forever. Cause that's gonna be forever. You can't make nobody be with you, or make somebody stay with you, make somebody want you. But you know you had them kids.
That's right.
Them kids are yours. It ain't no twisting around it. They may be mad at you some days. They may hate you, but at the end of the day, you know they are yours.
That's right.
And you know, in marriage, it's like when you have kids, they know that's gonna be a forever commitment.
Yeah.
And you know, I see a lot of guys get divorced, separated, whatever, things like that, and that's fine. But you know, when you having kids or parents, or you're a mom or dad, you know, you start focusing on something. When things get rocky, you start focusing on things that they look like they could bring them joy. And you can look at your kids all the time and say, this person gives me joy, this person gives me joy, that person gives me joy, this child gives me joy. You know, stuff like that. Marriage ain't easy at all. I'm to be
sir.
real,
No, sir.
and it can be extremely tough. And I know I'm by far the most imperfect man out here, but I always know
I think I got you
punch
beat.
I
I got you beat.
but I know I can take a lot of punches and bruises and keep it going. But one thing I know, and what I've noticed in my life, I always been consistent at something to the point it says, like, he just keeps going and going and going. And I think that's what gets me. And sometimes in marriage, sometimes you have to take a step back, look at it, evaluate some things, whether if it's together or kind of away from something to say, like, you know, I got to do this. But also, in the midst of that, you still got to go to work. Still got to take these kids, take care of these kids, and sometimes you got to focus on that because that's gonna keep things going. But that's about it. Before we get to this last topic, before we get off, you got something to say?
Yeah.
So,
And the biggest thing is that, you know, it takes two. So everything that we're saying, you know, is our experiences. I know we're naturally speaking from a man's perspective, but it's important to remember in a marriage that, hey, she get fed up with your butt too sometimes.
No doubt.
You know, like, I mean, it's some stuff. It's some stuff you think, you know, you doing all the way right, and you know it irks her nerves. You know what I'm saying? It's some stuff that you did way back when she still think about. You know what I'm saying? But she gets through that too. So I think that it takes two people to practice everything that we've talked about and to go through it to really make a marriage work.
right.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I say in the relationship, like, I mean, even like I say on a relationship level, all of the kind of the factors that you was saying, it's the same thing you got to do in a relationship.
That's right.
You know, you got
Right.
to keep that spark going or whatever. You got to, you know, because you're gonna change, you evolve. Everything changes. Everything that we seen, like I see it now as a 37-year-old about to be 38 or whatever, and everything slows down. We ain't, you know, you don't care about these women no more in the street. You don't care. That's like temptation is less and less of a thing. Like even in relationships, I don't, you know, temptation. I don't care about, you know, these other women or whatever. I only can see you. So that's where I'm at, and I feel what y'all saying 100%, 100%.
so now I'm gonna go to this real quick because politically we were talking about things, business and stuff like that. You got anything to say politically before we get into what Melo probably asking us in a few?
Politically, national politics is crazy right now. State politics, as it relates to North Carolina, where we're sitting, crazy right now. And I think that it's just a crazy time. And I think the biggest reason for that is, and the biggest opportunity is that there's a generational shift happening in America. I mean, most of your most highly regarded institutional politicians at a national level, and even at a state level, are older. And when I say older, I mean because you got some grades, I got some grades. You know what I'm saying? So
But-
we the older guy, but
We
it's some we unk, but it's some you know 75, 80-year-old people out there who are still trying to run the floor. And to use a basketball term, and I've had this conversation with, you know, elected officials. You know, you can run the floor for a certain amount of time, and these guys and gals still want to run the floor. You got to get off the court and get to the sideline, and you can coach, and you can point out the game, point out, you know, teach somebody, and let them run the floor and slam dunk.
That's right.
And when we win a ring, you get one too.
Yeah,
Right.
You right on the podium with the commissioner, holding up the trophy with the star player.
that's right.
And the star player write their book. They let everybody know, I want nothing without Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But too many people should be coaching right now in politics, and they want to run the floor.
How you feel about that? Like, do you like to vote? Do you not like to vote before?
Absolutely. more so now that I got older and I learned a lot about local or whatever. Like I said, I try to definitely do it a lot more now. So yeah, voting is major because I see how much it controls our local community, not just the president in the U.S. or whatever. Local voting matters, and I think people really take it for granted. But then we see what happens in our city now. We got all these complaints and this, that, and third, but you ain't go out and vote when it was time or whatever. So yeah, I definitely believe in voting because it matters,
Oh boy.
especially voting for guys in my generation or whatever that I can relate that'll go out there and that can talk to my like younger guys in high school or that's relatable to the kids that people can kind of be a mentor to the next generation of people. Like I said, I really love seeing like my brothers like J. Kelly, TJ, them guys out here doing what they doing because I didn't really believe that it could be done for a black man to be doing something like that. So it mean a lot to me to go out and vote.
Yeah, so like I get what you were saying, like talking about the youth and talking about being younger and where we at. So with that being said, speaking of younger, this young man right here you're looking at right now is running for Ward 5 in Tarboro, councilman. Um, it's gonna be a interesting journey. Young, probably the youngest one, probably the first African American. Raw thoughts in this ward, but it don't matter about the colors, about all and what I can do for all people, how we can help change and get some. When I say youth movement, it's not doing it in a crazy radical way. It's more of a thing like, hey, we need to go ahead and start preparing for the next generations, and that's where I'm at, and I'm just trying to find ways to help the whole community overall, not just from an athletic standpoint, from an educational standpoint. So Ward 5, get ready. Cause I got my boots on the ground.
Coming, baby.
Where them fans at?
Yeah, proud
But that's
of you, man. Proud of you. That's big time. Like I said, yeah. Especially like I said, doing it in your city, dope. When you grew up.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's unique.
But that's all I got, man. What else you got before we get off?
That's all I got, man. Congratulations on the race. I think you do well, and just keep the main thing, man. Don't forget why you're doing it, and but also don't forget who you owe the most in this world, which is your family. I think you're doing it for the people of Tarboro, of your ward, but also the people of Tarboro, because a better Ward 5 will make a better Tarboro.
Yeah.
It's all about competition in that way, because something pop off in Ward 5 that's worth talking about, somebody going to do it in Ward 4 or Ward 3, and so keep that a focal point, but also don't do it at the detriment or the expense of your family.
And with that being said, since he said it like that, I'm dedicating this first ever candidacy run because my family has never, from what I got recently, I'm like the first politician they actually ran, unless they don't know about something. And I remember Pastor G was saying a while back, or somebody was saying that your ancestors probably prayed for you generations ago, and you never know what your prayer was, and this probably was the moment. And I've been praying about this moment. I feel like it's time. So I'm dedicating this to my great-grandma, to my immediate kids, my family, my real dear friends, and most importantly to my wife, Iris.
That's right. And I gotta
All
say,
right.
wait, and I gotta say, I'm sorry, I gotta say this. And as it relates to your grandma, somebody told me this one time when I was running for office, and they said that in this case, your grandmother, smarter, more capable, more able than you to be a town council person, but because of when she was born, just because of when her mom and daddy met, she could never have dreamed of having an opportunity that you have right now. And so, just use that to keep you grounded, man. Like, there are people that you are attached to in a bloodline that they would run circles around you today. Your granddaddy, great granddaddy, they run circles around you. But because they persevered and put up with a lot of stuff that you'll never have to be challenged with, you're here today.
Whew.
Dope.
That's all we got, man. Kelvin Jones,
Shout out
Mellow
my boy-
Airton,
shout out
because
my
he
boy
came
Brad,
out here
man.
dropping some gems I wasn't even expecting, but I knew it was coming, man. The energy was here, man. The energy was here from our minds. We out.